Bam! Cheers, everybody. All right, what is going on, y'all? So, you guys are going to notice over the next couple days, even more stuff's going to be moved around behind me. I'm going to be changing some things up, clearing out some clutter, constantly working on just leveling up the whole deal. So, today we're going to be going over a active recovery / mobility kind of a sequence, as well as we got our giveaway going down. We've got back to school. We've got some fun Wahool sponsored products we're going to get into. I got just some overall great home gym and fitness picks, as well as the back to school options, and kind of, again, always looking at how it applies to a healthy lifestyle and fitness. So with that being said, drop some messages. I wasn't going to stream for another couple of minutes, so I'm a little early here, actually. It's nice to be early instead of like running behind. So that lets me kind of just like ease on into all the fun here, right, y'all? So I'm going to drop some messages. Again, if you guys got questions, let me know. Again, I'm going to be playing B-roll because this is a Wahool sponsored stream, but I'm also going to be going through about a 10 movement 20-minute kind of active recovery, mobility session. Honestly, I did something to my back. I think it might even be like intercostal related, or not 100%. If it's lingering for more than like another 5 or so days, I'm going to definitely go see one of my physical therapists and doctors to get more details on it. But the point of me saying all this is, instead of doing like cardio today or like a more intensive hike, I'm really just going to go through mobility, walk a little bit with the kids later. But I figured I'd share this mobility with you guys because this is straight out of our 12-week body recomposition program, which, speaking of which, if you guys are interested, you can go to lifestyleoffitness.com, enter in on the giveaway, as well as fill out an application to work with us on the body recomposition program. For the giveaway, we have the Linktree link as well. You're going to find that on our Linktree. It's not on our website, but I have our Linktree set up from our website, so you can get to it there. Boom, we got $1,000 cash we're giving away October 1st. And it's been awesome, yo. I think we've had over like 500 entries already. So again, make sure that you're entered. Invite your friends. You'll get more bonus points. Basically, the more points you get, the more you increase your chances or your odds of winning, because it's like randomly picked. So the more you can kind of like stack things in your favor, the more you're going to increase your chances. But again, the cool thing is you don't have to. You know, there's no like, oh, you have to invite X many people or buy a product, or there's none of that. It's just the chances you'll have of winning will drastically go up the more points you get. And you get points for doing things like that. All right, so I'm going to now just share this link on our Discord. And again, if you guys aren't in the Discord, definitely let us know if you want a link to that, so we get you set up there, because the Discord's awesome. We have David's got a great Discord here from our Amazon streamers. Serene, I think she's a streamer, as well as just someone that's like a person that runs a Discord, has a great Discord as well. Gina's got our Discord running up for the Real Family-ish. Yeah, if you guys want more info on that, let me know in the comments or in the chat here. If you guys are watching anything besides Amazon, let us know. I'll send you guys links. And yeah, y'all. All right. Let's share these live streams. Active recovery. Back to school picks. All right. Dropping in right now. Boom. So I'm just dropping it again in the Discords. We got on David's. We're going on Serene's. Let's see if I got any other questions. And while I'm doing this, let me actually play some B-roll. That's a good point, y'all. Let's get our B-roll on. Boom. Nope, we don't want to share screen. We're going to upload B-roll. I'm going to dig into the right fit. And here we go. Also, guys, make sure you're setting a reminder, because every Wednesday we got Real Family-ish Season 2's back. We had our second episode with Coach Eric. Dude, he dropped some stories on us, y'all. I know you guys aren't going to want to miss out on future ones, but if you guys want to see, we're going to be uploading the replays on our podcast. I'm going to have that link again in my link tree as well. I'm honestly, I still haven't even posted the first episode of season 2. So we're like 2 weeks behind. So I'm debating, I'm going to talk to Gina about, we might release it all in one shot. Or we might do a slow drip release. So the cool thing is I want to incentivize people who are listening live, and then we're going to release the actual recordings, but we may not release all of them, or we just are probably going to release them later so that if you guys watch live, you have an incentive so you can see the content before anyone else does, and you don't miss out on anything that might be more exclusive when we release it in other platforms.
All right, y'all. So in this video, we're going over the right fit back brace or back support while you're weightlifting. So it has this little arched rounded edge that's going to be perfect for a position straight up, and you can also see where it says right fit. That's how you know how you're going to position it. Nice and easy, simple loop through. It's got Velcro, so I'm looping it right through here. I'm going to Velcro it in to have it nice and supportive. And what I like to use this for, especially on heavier weighted pull-ups, using it for deadlifts, and being able to properly brace and breathe into it to support the back. It's not only great for heavier lifts, but also to be able to properly breathe and put pressure throughout your core and torso as you're going heavier on weights, or if you just need that added support. Check it out, y'all, and definitely a thumbs up.
Bam, y'all. All right, so what I'm going to do is I just made a video, a replay and like a reply video that I did on TikTok. I want to say it was back in like November maybe or December, because I was really fortunate. One of my clients took me out to Canyon Ranch in Arizona, the Tucson location. Canyon Ranch is a really cool. Oh, what's up, Josh? Let's go. Happy Sunday, bro. Happy Sunday. So if you guys aren't already, check out Josh. Josh, drop your link as always, man. Let the people know where they can follow you. If you guys are watching here on the Coach Mike channel, Josh is in the comments. If you guys are watching on the LOF channel, hop on over to Coach Mike if you guys want to see Josh's link. I'm going to pull up his channel too, and I'll do a little screen share. Let me get the link in here too. But let me tell you guys this story really quick. And I'm also, again, the point of me saying this is I'm doing a warm-up, a little bit of a hip pelvic movement. So I'm literally just going to be making circles here. It probably looks silly to you guys, and it looks silly to me too, but there's actually some real value with just moving those hips, getting the body moving. This is actually, when I went to Canyon Ranch, again, this is like a bougie AF kind of a resort. It's like $1,000 to $2,000 a day to stay there kind of a place. And the reason I share that is, A, there's some really cool projects we have coming ahead that you guys will be able to like get into when the time's right, and I'll let you guys know. But also, being able to go to a place that you're spending like $2,000 a day, they have an entire medical team on staff. They do blood work. They have nutritionists. They have doctors. They have like every kind of scans you could think of. They have their strength conditioning area. They have their trainers on spot. They have gait analysis. They have yoga, Pilates. They have specialists in all these different fields. And I got to work with a great trainer that was a former Olympian. And she was a great trainer and definitely kicked my butt. But the cool thing is working with her, looking at the classes, looking at the way they run things. They're not doing anything that honestly, like myself and my team and our network and what we're kind of exposed to in our academic world and our experiential world, it's not that much different. So to me, the point of saying all that is very validating to be able to see like, man, you can go to a place that you're spending $2,000 a day and they're doing the same stuff I'm doing. Like I'm worth that amount too. And like what I can deliver from results, what my team can deliver with the programs that we have, with the philosophy, with the experience that we have, we can deliver those kinds of results. We're worth that kind of money. So it's really cool and like that's why I've really focused on changing our programs, going to more higher price programs. And unfortunately, like I know some of you aren't going to be able to afford that, but here's my exchange for that is these live streams that I do, like workouts, mobility, cooking, my entire team's on the Coach Mike channel and the LOF channel. This is all free, guys. You don't have to pay for this. You don't even have to buy products. Hey, if you find a product you want, great. If not, that's totally fine too. Just enjoy the content, consume it, watch, do the workouts with me, follow at home, ask questions, we'll modify things. Now, it's not going to be custom to you like in our programs, but even if you can't afford to work with us in a private setting, we wanted to be able to create content and add value for you guys. Like, honestly, even the programs, oh, hey, what's up, PRA? Hi, Poppy, what's going on? Being able to deliver value at the end of the day is a really important piece. So anyways, I have about another 90 seconds here just warming up my hips. Literally, I'm just like making circles on this ball, just getting my hips moving, getting some blood flow going. Then I'm going to go through some foam roller, massage gun, mobility, kind of active recovery stuff today. Nothing too crazy. Been great, Ash. Been great, dude. Just enjoying time with the girls, with Ashley. We got date night tonight. I'm excited. How you doing, dude? How's it going by you? Let's get into our bands. Don't pop that ball with your booty. Yeah, no, I think this thing can hold up. But transparently, I'm going to be honest with you guys. That reminds me, I owe, shout out to Road Combat Club here in Asheville. I owe them a ball from like a year and a half ago because I was doing sprawl drills and I definitely like sprawled on the ball and it popped. So that reminds me I do owe them a ball because I've definitely popped balls before. Fun fact.
In this video for the right fit resistance bands, I wanted to break down kind of a second feature that I didn't do in my first video. Now I've got the 45-pound set, so you can see they have 3 different resistance bands here. Now check this out. I slightly pull out the band and you're gonna see there's a little like looping locking mechanism that locks it into place. So if I don't want the 10 pounds of resistance, I'm gonna drop it down. Now I can go to 35 pounds of resistance and then I still have the other bands in place and then I'm good to go with the handles. So it's really that simple to swap out the resistance and the weight, and definitely an easy to use function. Again, we just pull it out, pop open, and then you can drop the band out or just easily add it back through again, thread it in, lock it into place, and you're good to go.
And whoa, geez, I'm dropping all the stuff. All right, y'all, I'm going to try and do this from the ground, so let's see if the camera can follow me here. What I'm doing is I'm doing an adductor foam roll right now. So I got the foam roller on the inner portion of my thigh. I'm hitting my adductor. Woo! We're going 45 seconds on each muscle group. Oh, my God, what are you doing down there now? So what we're doing today, Ash, is I'm doing a active recovery and mobility kind of a day. So I'm doing my foam roller I got right here. I'm going to be going through some soft tissue work. I've got my physio ball right over here as well we're going to use. I got my massage gun. I got the leg massager. So today is predominantly about going over mobility and active recovery options that we have. Also going over our back to school products, some fun, and digging into our sponsored stuff. So with that being said, let's go into the Zealous weighted vest. That's what I got next here, y'all. I want to be the front row. Ha ha, I get it, Ash. I get it, dude. I get what you're saying. You're making me chuckle. Oof. Scheiße. I don't know if you know, dude, because I'm pretty heavy, man. I'd be putting a lot of weight on you right now.
All right, y'all. So in this video, we're going over the Zealous weighted vest. So I'm going to throw this bad boy on to show you how easy it is right out of the box, throwing it on. Now, the one thing I will say, it also comes with this really cool phone carrier, and it even has a second little strap here. So you have the first part for your phone, second little pouch for like keys, money clip, whatever you want to do. Again, that can zip closed. Now, it also has a buckle feature. So again, I can buckle this up if I'm going to do any runs. Tighten it the way I want. It has nice reflective straps on the front and on the back so that if you decide to go out running with it, again, you'll have that reflective component. And it's not only great for outdoor runs, cardio, you can do push-ups, you can do pull-ups. Perfect example right here. I like to use it for adding weight for the pull-ups. And as you can see, it stays perfectly in place. It's not restrictive. And this has a variety of weighted options, everywhere from 6 pounds all the way up to 30 pounds and everything in between. So definitely a thumbs up and a recommend to add more resistance to your workouts. And it can be actually great for as you're losing weight to help keep your body strong with the weight that you're losing. And just for another fun fact I mentioned to clients, put this on. If you want to lose 10, 20, whatever amount of weight you want to lose, buy that weighted vest and put it on. See how heavy that feels and imagine how good it's going to feel when you lose that weight too. Thumbs up all around, y'all.
Man, we'll switch those sides up. And then to your question, Ash, I'm about 200 pounds right now. I'm actually probably like 203 because I've been eating a little bit more the last week or so. Really, since I got back from Hilton Head, I've been increasing my calories a bit more. And since I started the 8 week to shred program of our 12-week body recomp, like the phase 2, my body's in this like a little adjustment phase right now. So I'm putting on some muscle, which is kind of the whole point. And the way we take our 12-week recomp is phase one is the whole first month is just nutrition. We do have a weight training program and a body weight version. So even if you don't have access to equipment, it's not a deal breaker. It's predominantly focused on nutrition. We teach you how to eat and work in a training schedule to make the most sense for fat loss. Then as we transition into phase two, which is our 8-week resistance, really heavy focused training program called 8 Weeks to Shred. That's where we focus on high volume resistance training and all that fun stuff, which is great. But the thing you have to keep in mind is you're going to probably slightly increase calories, but we don't want to go over too much and actually gain fat while we've been focusing so much on actually trimming up our frame. So now what I'm going to go into is a bent knee iron cross, which is a fancy way of saying I'm going to have the foam roller between my knees and I'm flexing my anterior tibialis, the front of my shins. My toes are flexed, sitting in this 90-degree, and I'm just windshield wiping side to side, pinching it between my knees, getting a nice stretch here. Oh, feeling that across my lumbar back. Oh, you guys are going to see my tummy kind of stick out a little bit. Oh, geez, y'all. Oh, geez. And then, yeah, Ash, oh, you would kill me. Yeah, I'm solid 200 pounds, homie. Oh, all right, so now we got the iron cross. Now we got roll over into a V-sit. Ooh, this is a good one. While I'm doing this, I'm also going to play a little video on our workout gloves here while we're getting into it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
In this video, I'm going to be going over the Glow Fit workout gloves. As you can see, they have the cut-off fingers. And what this is really all about is having the actual grip support and this little like tactile material here that helps get you a better grip. Now, if you don't want calluses on your hands like I have, or you feel like your grip is the failing point, and you want to kind of be able to work past that, these types of gloves can be a great asset. The cool thing about them is also they have a nice stretchy material. They're breathable on the back, so you're not going to be able to necessarily get all that sweat and funk holding into them. But what I will say is when you're using these, this is not going to long-term improve your grip strength. You're relying on the actual material to help you grab that bar or whatever it is that you're grabbing. So the benefit is you can potentially lift more weight, which is going to help your gains. The downside is you may not be conditioning your hands and the grip itself. So just pros and cons there, but definitely a thumbs up if you want to be able to work these benefits.
All right, now we're going to go into the wrist wraps. And again, guys, what I'm doing is I'm going through different mobility movements. I'm doing a frog variation, like a frog rock stretch. Normally I wouldn't, this doesn't actually call for the physio ball, but because I have a little bit of tenderness in my lower back and in my rib cage area, I want to have that added support. So you're going to see me kind of using the ball here. Don't get any ideas, Ash. Then I see you, okay, only 140. Yeah, I'd definitely be putting some weight on you, homie. You don't want that. Let's go to our wrist support.
In this video, we're going to be looking at the Air Pop wrist support straps. Now, these are actually really cool and can be really beneficial if you do have chronic wrist issues or anything like that, and you want to have some additional support. So you just kind of hook your thumb right through here. You're going to wrap it around your wrist to give you some added support as tight as you like and as it feels good, and it can help you kind of, again, keep that alignment in your wrist, give you some support. There's pros and cons to this. Depending on, again, what's going on, if there's an injury there, again, talk to a physical therapist or a doctor. This isn't medical advice, but this can be a great tool to help support your wrists and be able to give you that added support when you're going for maximal lifts or pushing yourself. But again, get some more insight. These can be great options, though. I definitely do recommend them. And the cool thing about this is the material is they're not going to hold on to the sweat as much, so you can wash them, and they're going to be nice and clean and sanitized. So definitely a thumbs up.
Okay, I'll keep my thoughts to myself. It's all good, Ash. It's all good, dude. It makes me chuckle, homie. And I'll be transparent with you guys. Listen. Ashley and I have been married 5 years, going on 6 years. I've been in a relationship. You know, we've been together 9 years, I think going on 10 years. Like, I don't think no matter how long you're in a relationship, it always feels good, in my humble opinion, to be validated from people externally. Now, it's not something that like I try and rely on or actively seek out, but it's like it is nice to be validated and to be like, oh, someone finds you attractive, like transparently. I don't like people being like, oh, I don't know, like, nah, dude, it's something that you appreciate, and now I'm not saying for everybody, men and women, that we're all actively seeking it out, but there is an aspect to validation that feels good, which is why we're all seeking validation. There's a reason for it, in my humble opinion. So transparently, I appreciate it, is my point, Ash. And yeah, I'm happily married and all that fun stuff. It's still funny to joke. As long as like it's not crossing the line. If like my wife, ironically her name's Ashley too, she'd be like, hey, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Obviously I wouldn't do it, but that's what's I think can be fun about the internet, so long as you keep it in perspective. Is like we're not in the same room, it's not any issues. But with that being said, let's go into the adjustable dumbbells. I'm glad I make you feel sexy. Oh yeah. Well, thank you, dude. Yeah. I appreciate it. I'm glad you find that as well. Where I don't know the right way to word that, but I appreciate you sending positive vibes and compliments my ways. More the point.
In this video, we're looking at the initial force adjustable dumbbell. Now, the cool thing about this is it's not only going from 55 pounds, but look at how we adjust it. You have a turn of the knob, and then bam, that's how you're going to be adjusting the weight. And then it literally just slides right out, slide back in. Again, adjust the weight, click it into place, and same thing. Now, one thing I want to show you is how is this working? These two little nodules right here are actually activating as springs or as little presses on these springs right here that are the locking mechanism. So that's what keeps it safe, super easy. From my experience, this handle is the fastest to swap out. Definitely a recommend. Now, this is also a single dumbbell when you order them. So if you want a complete set of two, you're gonna have to order two of them. Definitely a thumbs up though.
Married guys can still be sexy. Yeah, thanks, Ash. Yeah, and I don't think it's like that. I just think it's like, because like here's the thing I love about my wife too. She's like, oh, I totally find you attractive. What's up? Like she takes pictures of my butt, all that fun stuff, and that's great. Like, but I think this is just my own insecurities. I'm sharing this with you guys. There's a reason. Hear me out. And like, if you always search for external validation from people, from like, I would transparently again use like being physically intimate with people to be like, oh, you like, I'm attractive because you wouldn't sleep with me if you didn't find me attractive. That's like validating. Or what, Ashley taking a picture of my butt? Like, well, she doesn't just like zoom it, like it's like me walking and she'll like see me in some dad shorts or something and be like, oh, what's up? Take a picture of it, which I think is cute. I think that's what you're saying. But my point being is being able to also like look in the mirror and feel good about yourself. And like, that's like, listen, I still struggle with that. I'll be honest with you guys. It's been such an active thing. And like, I look at myself and like, I even watch videos, like I try not to watch videos and stuff, but like, look at like, wow, look at what my body's capable of. And like, wow, I can look at my body right now and point out a bunch of things I don't like about it. Or that things that I'm like constantly working on. It's also embracing like, hey man, this is a part of your body. That's part of who you are. I thought you meant like with nothing on. I mean, well, she's definitely like, I'm sure, well, I don't know. Has she taken pictures of me? Yeah, she's definitely taking pictures of me with no clothes on. But it's not like she's like posting them online and stuff or like going anywhere with them. It's like for us. All right, so we're getting into the home stretch. I got my piriformis stretch. Oh, and then we're going rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch. And then we're gonna be done with our stretches. I'm gonna go through this a second sequence. And while I'm doing that, let me go through our next B-roll and see what we got next here, y'all. Ooh, we got the men's wallet. This thing I've been using in the last like week or so. And actually I've been using it 2 weeks. I've been since Hilton Head. Well, you know, you can always send me one. I'll have Ashley send it to you. And that's the other thing too. Like I was joking with her and like me and her talking about, yeah, just like, again, sending cute little things to each other just to remind each other. Like I tell her how good she looks all the time, and I don't think she like truly hears me because she has her own stuff in the way, like her own internal stuff going on, like insecurities and whatnot, which we all have. But I think it's also nice to like remind each other, like, hey, like I do find you attractive, or like when you have a partner and stuff. Like those are the important things. Like I have like little posted sticky notes, and I'll put like little sticky notes or like buy her flowers and put them in the car, or little things like that. But with that being said, now we've got the rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch. So I'm going to use the ball on this one. So this one is clutch, and you can use like a couch, a bench. The point of it saying rear foot elevated is exactly that. So the rear foot, we're going to try and elevate it and get as close to our butt as we can without pain or discomfort. And then you're going to get your hip flexor. Oh man, yeah. So I'm getting a nice quad stretch here. I'm also getting a little bit of hip flexor. You can use a couch, you can use a bench, a chair, stairs. Like you could do this anywhere, man. Your car, you could do this at like a gas. I wouldn't have, depending on like the pressure on your knees and stuff, like this may not be for everyone everywhere. But in my humble opinion, this is a great option and great piece of equipment to leverage. Oof. Another couple seconds, then we'll get into our next product. I also got the sports shades, the polarized sports sunglasses. These were clutch and Hilton Head. I've been wearing these pretty much every single day. You know, it's summertime, it's the South, it's hot. So it's definitely something that I find value in. Whew. This other side, man, it's tight. Oh, we got the Cozy Step drill bits. I actually just put these away. I have a shop bowl video up on these, I believe now, so you can see those. And the cool thing about these is the reason they're called Feel That Burn, baby, right? Yeah, dude. Feeling it. Feeling it in those thighs. So here's the thing, Ash. I'm going to genuinely ask you this. Like, I'm going to ask all you guys this. Like, to be transparent with you guys, like, even when I look at myself, like, I'm 200 pounds, about, like, 18.5% body fat. Like, I think a combination of things. Like, I've always been heavy, so I always have, like, that association in my brain to a certain extent. But also, being a professional athlete and fighter, I've been lighter and leaner. So I then look at, like, my fight weight at, like, 170 pounds, 175 pounds, like, being 10% body fat, dehydrated, like, the weight sucked out of me, and doing all of that. You know, I look at myself now, and I feel kind of, like, chubby, you know? To be, again, super transparent with you guys. Now, here's the other thing. Like, I'm also very mindful that the food that I was eating, the restrictions I had on my body were not conducive for a sustainable lifestyle. Like, I didn't want to live the life I was living while making weight and cutting weight for fights. And that's, to me, that wasn't sustainable. So that's not the life I want to live, but the body I had was something I felt confident about. So it's an interesting pull and dynamic. So I'm wondering to you guys, like, A, who can relate out there? Who can relate to, like, either you're not happy with where you are and then you find yourself comparing to a place where you used to be that maybe you were happier. But then if you think about it, even when you're in that place, like even when I was 10% body fat and I was fighting, like I felt really good in my body, but I'm like, there's always still things I thought and felt and looked at my body like, oh, I can improve this. There's always going to be room for improvement. I don't think that there's anything wrong with like wanting to constantly challenge yourself, but I feel like kind of those whole stream of like validation and stuff, if you're constantly looking for others for validation, like if I'm saying like, oh, I need Ash to tell me I'm attractive to feel good about myself, or if I need my wife, or I need some random stranger on the street or whatever, like it's going to be a very empty existence in my humble opinion. And it's going to be like just a depressing one at times. And then, yeah, I always feel that way. So yes, like, and I appreciate you sharing that, Ash, and like being honest. And even now, since today's Sunday and I'm not doing like a hard workout, I really just went through, that was like a 20-minute kind of mobility routine. I'm going to also put up my feet and do the leg massager here in a little bit. I'm going to also use the foam, not the foam roller, the massage gun. I'll hit my like legs a little bit more, my back and some other areas, but I want to go through some B-roll. And honestly, I just want to hang out and talk with you guys. I'm going to be here for almost like another hour. So if you have questions or topics, let me know. I'll happily dig into it. And now let's look at what we got next, y'all. Ooh, we got the umbrella next. What? All right, I'm also going to play some B-roll for you guys on all these fun things. And then here's one question I do have for you, because here's one thing I will say about myself. Now, no matter how much like weight I gain or lose or whatever's going on, my training, whatever, like I always feel good about it. And this is like not saying this is right or wrong. It's just what works for me. Is like I look at myself, I'm like, you know what, Mike, you got some sexy eyes. Because no matter how big or small I am or whatever it looks like, my eye color is something that like I've always felt really good about and like something that stuck out my whole life. So like that's something I know that not everyone else has. So like I ask you, Ash, or anyone else watching, like what's one thing you love about yourself? Like if I go and look in the mirror right now, another thing I'll say I love about myself is my broader upper body. Like I have a broader like shoulder and chest and back area. So it's like, man, I have a good frame for that. And that's just something that I find to be helpful for me. So I'm questioning what's something you guys enjoy about yourselves. You don't have to obviously tell me in the chat, but like just reinforce that for yourself. That can be something that can be really helpful. But again, I'm not a doctor. What do I know? take it all with a grain of salt. Now let's also look at also the umbrella. I forgot to check to see if we got inland coupons. I meant to check on all the products if we got inland coupons. All right, I'm gonna stop my timer here. It was good to just kind of get loose. I already feel better. Just going through those mobility movements. Feel a little loosey-goosey. We got like 20 minutes in. It was nice. And that's the beautiful thing, y'all. It's like you don't have to be training like 2 hours a day every day. It's sometimes just knowing like when to relax, when to take time off and all that fun stuff. All right, so we're just answering a question here on Instagram. So yeah, if you guys aren't, also for anyone that's entered the giveaway, if you followed us on Instagram, on our other accounts, it's greatly appreciated. So thank you guys. Let me pull up. We don't have an inland coupon here. It looks like no. Let's see what else we got. Oh, let's go through a screen door here. I'll play you guys some B-roll on that. Bam. And again, so here's my, even when it goes like back to school, we're going back to school, right? It's August, so that means September is right around the corner. That means my birthday's getting up, right? Getting so popular now. What do you mean getting so, what's getting so popular right now? Like umbrellas or outdoor furniture? Because I have like a 30, 60-second delay, so when you count, thanks, homie. No, yeah, right? No, I'm just following up with stuff. Because that's the other thing too, guys. Here's a fun fact. I'm going to be super transparent with you guys. If you reach out, like myself and my team, we always try and respond within like 12, like right away. But like we always want to have a response within 24 hours, no matter what, whether it's a text message, whether it's an email, whether it's a DM, whatever it is, always answer within 24 hours. And also, if you need additional support, always try and get on the phone with you ASAP to just support you guys. And because honestly, like, listen, if we put it off, we're increasing the chances of you putting it off too. You never wrote back on IG to me. What? No way. Hold on, Ash. Which IG was it? Because I'm on my lifestyle of fitness one. Did you DM me or did you like comment? Because I don't see it, dude. I might have missed it. I apologize if I missed it. Either DM or comment again, man. I apologize if I missed that. But that's like going back to my point, because if it doesn't happen in the first like 2 hours, at least 24 hours, it was DM. Oh, dude. So yeah. So if I miss it and it doesn't happen in the first 24 hours, like it's pretty much gone. So that's why we really are very passionate about responding like right away. And was it Mike Callo? Was it Life of a Fighter? Was it Lifestyle of Fit? I have like 4 different accounts we manage. So that's also another reason why. But I personally, I haven't gotten so big to the point where I have someone just running my social media. Because to be transparent, listen, when you get really big, there's like any celebrity you have, they have people running their like social media and stuff like that. Like that's just what's happening. Scott, I know you ignore me. Dang, wow. You know what? I'm gonna have to pull it up right now just to be like, yo, check this. I'm about to like show you my messages to show that you didn't message me. Yeah, because I got no messages here, Ash, on my Life of a Fighter on Instagram. Unless it's under like requests and I missed it. Hold on. I'm checking my requests right now. Yeah, dude, I got no requests. No, nothing. I think you're just messing with me, Ash. Unless you're like unless your handle's different than like Puerto Rican Ash. Excuse. Or you might be just lying to me right now and making it up. Because that's what I think. Because I'm looking at my DMs right now. I don't see anything. I don't see any comments. Just throwing it out there. All right, so let's get into our screen. And then Ash, I'm gonna go back and forth with you. I don't even think of this as arguing. I think of it as communicating. That's what I think. And I'm curious. So your name's Puerto Rican Ash, so I imagine you're Puerto Rican. I'm Italian, as well as German. But like one thing I've noticed about like Italian and Latin American culture, and at least from my experience, is like it's not arguing. It's just the way we converse, and it can get loud and get kind of passionate, but it's not like negative emotion associated. You're right. I don't want to cross that line. Yeah, I don't even know what line, but yeah, I'm just like, yeah.
All right, y'all. So in this video, we're going to be going over the Magzo screen door. Now, I wanted to show you guys the manual because I always get excited when there's less than a couple steps. It's like 6 steps, literally that simple. And you have 2 basic things. You can have the screen itself that it comes with that you can select from a variety of sizes to make sure it fits your door. And then you're gonna have the adhesive tape that I apparently keep dropping with added push pins if you need that support. So all it's recommending to do is we're gonna open this bad boy up. You're gonna think about if you want it right side opening or left side opening. It says that in there, which I think is a great point. We're literally just going to map all of this out, put it onto the floor, And then you're gonna add your tape, be able to set it up the way you want so it sticks right on. Then we take the adhesive part out, boom, bust this bad boy out. Check this out, super simple. It has tape already on, so you're gonna open it up, take off this brown side, that's where it's gonna stick right on, and then it's gonna Velcro right onto the screen itself. Put it on the border of the frame, sticking it on, keeping it nice and simple. And again, if you need added support, you can use the push pins. So mapping, laying out the screen, putting on the adhesive tape onto the door frame itself, putting that bad boy on, make sure you have it either right opening or left opening. Think ahead of time to make sure it's set up. And then you have the push pins if you need. Definitely a thumbs up. And super excited to have this up, especially with all the mosquitoes in the summertime. Keep this bad boy up so you can keep the mosquitoes out of your house. Thumbs up, y'all.
Bam, y'all. Sorry, I just saw another email coming in. They're like, hey, please send me your cell phone number. I'm like, dude, I don't even know you. Who is this? Like, it has their name, but like, I don't recognize the name. Also, Ash, I just saw the DM boundary line. Oh, I get it. Yeah, it would be more than business going on. Hey, keep it professional. That's the one thing, dude, like I always appreciate about Ashley and I is like we can joke around and stuff, but it's like we also very much like have these, and that's been like a big thing talking with Ashley is like boundaries. Not even like in our relationship, but with like those around me, whether it's my family, whether it's friends, whether it's like people online. It's like truly understanding our boundaries and like being secure with enforcing those boundaries. That's, I think, the biggest thing. It's like, I think, easier to say, hey, this is hypothetically what I want, but it's like when you get pushback, when it's time to actually enforce those boundaries, that's the most challenging part to me, or can be from my experience. And that's why I appreciate like having Ashley, my wife, to support me and having the support, even like if it's like dude, I'll tell you guys funny stories. It's just like I get random DMs. So I have like my actual personal cell phone number, which my clients actually get. And then I have for people that, like what's publicly out there is my business line, like my business phone number, which people can find if you go on Instagram, you go to contact, like it's, I have my number out there, but that's not transparently like my business line. And I have people like shoot me messages and leave me random either voicemails or DMs from time to time, or text messages. Not all the time. This is random. It's not as common, but randomly it'll be like, hey, so I'm looking for a trainer and also for like a friends with benefits situation. I'm like, listen, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that part, but I could totally help you with the working out. And guess what? By building confidence in your body, you'll get a friends with benefit somewhere else. But like, I can't help you with that. And I've definitely had a few clients in the past before I was with Ashley, maybe when we first started, even like try to like insinuate they wanted to hook up, even though like so that's the one thing I take very serious is like my professional titles and like my business, and this is how I feed my family, right? And this is what I work so hard for, and I take it very serious. Like, I don't want to manipulate those lines of relationships. Even before I was married, like even when I was single, I didn't ever do that. You know you fell for it once, don't lie. You know you fell for it once. Fell for what? Like, hey, let's get the trainer. Oh, you're probably talking about like trainer and friends with benefits stuff. Nah, dude, that's like, again, man, like that's the only way I would have felt for it if it was Ashley. If Ashley, like I met Ashley through a friend, but if she would have come into like my gym or something and like wanted to train with me and then I presented that, she would probably be the one I would have broke the rules for, because like from the moment I met her, dude, I was like, I'm marrying this girl and this is it for me. As cheesy as that sounds. But now, dude, that's the one thing I take a lot of pride in. Is not even pride, like, but I really respect, because here's the thing: when someone's coming to you as a trainer, they're trying to improve themselves, invest in themselves. They could be vulnerable, they could be sensitive to things, they could be rebounding from things. Like you could take advantage of people, especially in the health and wellness space. Like I can't like stress how much that kind of be a pet peeve of mine enough. But with that being said, we're gonna go over the Uni Libra. We've got our mattress protector. So I actually have a few of these from different sizes that I wanted to just show you guys. Good thing you aren't my trainer, or good thing I should say good thing I am. I'm not your trainer though. But my point being, or I think what you're saying is like, we'd get some great results is what I'm hearing you say. And we would respect those boundaries and lines so that you'd have to focus on the training, and then you'd be able to go get friends with benefits or go get a relationship or go what else elsewhere. But yeah, so I'm going to go through the different kind of sizes. We got everything from twin to king to queen. You got different discounts, so make sure you're checking them. But what I wanted to show you guys, and also go to the GRT full size one, is just a little bit of how it comes packaged too. Because the ones that I unwrapped and I have the shop hole video on, they're actually on my bed. But this is a backup one that we have, so you guys can kind of see how it comes. My hand is a reference point for size. That helps with confidence seeing you look. I would tease you and make you look. Exactly, dude. No. So here's the thing, man. You could like I've had clients that like wouldn't wear underwear, like that have accidentally grabbed my crotch, like thinking it was the dumbbell. Like I've had some pretty forward people, or you know, and yeah, man, it's just like, what do you stand for? At the end of the day, if like it's like, for example, if someone came up to me and is like, hey, do you want a cigarette? It's an easy no, because I don't smoke cigarettes, right? It's like, I wonder if you guys can relate to that. It's like, hey, if you know it's just something you're not, you don't do, it's like, it's not even a thought process. Whoa, I wouldn't go that far and grab it. Dude, so here's the thing, like I'm gonna paint the scenario for you guys while I'm kind of showing you guys also the betting stuff, which is also great for, in my opinion, back to school, because listen, you want, in my opinion, seasons change, you want to change up your sheets. Also, when you're going back to school, you have a new thing, you want to be able to build a routine. I think it's nice to just have clean and fresh everything, like not just spring cleaning, but now we're going August into September. That's why I'm kind of organizing the garage again. I'm going to be moving stuff into the gym because we're finally getting that organized. So to me, it's like a helpful dynamic and variable to have. So I'm going to lay out how this scenario looked. Ready? Watch this. So we're going to say this was the bench, right? So I'm spotting my client, right? And I'm about to pass them the dumbbells. And they're on the bench and they're reaching back. And instead of reaching back to grab the dumbbell, they just like get a handful. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this was a mom, maybe in her like early to mid 50s, like super awesome lady. Like I love this client. I don't work with them anymore, but I still I try and stay in touch with as many clients. So we're just to do the numbers, guys, like I've worked with over 30,000 people throughout my business and career as a health coach. I try and stay in touch with as many of them as I can. It's impossible to stay in personal touch with over 30,000 people. Like I'll be real with you guys. I don't have everyone's number in my phone. I have emails and all that fun stuff, but okay, it was in my face. I would do that too. That's your fault. First off, no, it wasn't in their face, dude. I mean, I guess indirectly it was, but there was enough space. It was, and this to me is the top of it. They didn't just like grab it and like oop and like pull back. They like kind of gave it a good squeeze and then let go, and then didn't even say sorry, nothing. They didn't even acknowledge it, and then just grabbed the dumbbell and went into the workout. And I don't know, man. Like I was like so this was like 8 years ago. So I was like it was almost 10 years into my career. So like I had some experience, but it was just like, I think it was one of those scenarios I could understand in a flip scenario. Like if someone takes advantage of you or grabs you or something and like you didn't want it, like how it can feel super awkward. Like I'm a guy. So I think in our culture and like, it didn't feel as like forced or inappropriate. It was just like, oh, okay, now like not feeling it, whatever. But I could totally see how like, in another, like I've never been walking down the street and been worried some woman's going to try and like grab me and take advantage of me. But on the flip side, now that I have daughters, maybe she wanted to feel how big. Dude, maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows, bro? Or just like, I guess, get the subtle hint. And I'm also going to play the hula hoop and get into our next B-roll here in a second. But my point of saying all that is I'm definitely just more aware of like for my daughters now and for women, like it's got to be a different vibe. So I try not to, I guess it's all relative. Or like I also stretch my clients. Like I'll either manually stretch them. I don't do this as much anymore, but now what I try and do is I try and like support them in stretching themselves so they can do this on their own. But especially back in these days when I was working for the UFC, I would stretch all my clients. We had a massage therapy table. I had a certain continuing education course I had just did, so they qualified me to be able to do these like modalities. I still can do them. I just rather guide someone else through it. And because transparently, like when some of the stretches, you're putting someone's like leg over towards their face and stuff, like I think you can send mixed signals or it can be deemed inappropriate. And even though we had cameras and we always staff there, and I've never worked with a woman solo by myself without a witness around, it still is just kind of asking for trouble. You're such a dedicated trainer. I love it. I mean, yeah. And like, here's the thing, man. Like I've spent a lot of my energy, time, and money and resources to like just be the best that I could personally be as a trainer, as an athlete, and to just show up for my clients. So now it's a matter of like, what's hard is because I have so much experience, it's sometimes realizing like, hey, stop talking all this mumbo jumbo complicated wording. Just give them what they want, or not even what you want, what you need, and like teach the sustainability to it in your own words. But I don't need to use the complicated, you know, anatomy and physiology terms. The downside though is if I don't use it, I tend to forget and lose those terms. So when I go back to continue education and in courses and things like that, if I'm not using those terms actively, it's harder to retain them. So fun side note. And then I need someone to help me stretch. I never push myself. And listen, dude, like you can do like virtual stretching and have someone push you, but to have the physical support. And there's actually like a reason that there's like accommodated stretching, and then it helps you push past end ranges of motion. And there's a strategical approach to it. So it's like, here, push against my leg for 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, and then we can go maybe 10% more from an end range of motion standpoint. But again, I'm not a doctor. Take this all with a grain of salt, you know? All with a grain of salt. Now let's dig into that hula hoop. Uh-oh, did this totally die? Of course. Why did my keyboard not die? Dude, there's always something going down, but it's all good, guys. It's all good because I still got my mouse, and we're going to be all right. We going to be all right. I feel like the hula hoop's like one of the first videos I did too, so it should come up soon. Maybe I'll just go alphabetically. I'll put all your weight on me so I can stretch good. Yeah, I mean, dude, and there's sometimes where like that can be helpful, but dude, you gotta be careful, man, because if your muscles aren't prepared and primed, you can seriously damage the tissue. And then there's like asphyxiation. Honestly, it sounds like Ash should probably be into jiu-jitsu, man. I highly recommend go checking out a local jiu-jitsu school near you, because then you get like human interaction, you get physical touch like on a daily basis. You get people pushing you from a physical standpoint, from an accountability standpoint. It's like naturally built-in stretching. There's a lot of people that are usually in jiu-jitsu schools that are extremely mobile and have some great mobility coaches and people that just want to help out. So a lot of cool aspects is my point.
All right, y'all, so I'm going to break it down, this weighted hula hoop, and I got to say, right off the bat, I was a little skeptical when I got it, just because I thought it was potentially a gimmicky idea, but, you know, after being able to apply it and use it myself, and be able to have my wife use it, and actually just to, like, look at the just objective kind of data and information around it, this actually gets a thumbs up for me. Again, as a strength conditioning coach, this is one I was, like, again, somewhat skeptical of, but looking at how it actually causes you to engage the core, the anti-rotation component of it, and being able to, just from a coordination standpoint, get it to move, it was actually a really solid product. The one thing I will say is make sure you have this thing locked in place. Otherwise, I had it kind of like not fully locked into the magnet, and it kind of came off. So just make sure you're doing that. Otherwise, this gets a complete thumbs up for me. It's actually something I'll be using with some of my in-person clients and recommending to some of my virtual clients as well. So, yeah, y'all.
Boom. All right, so there we go. Just had someone message me like, so I wonder, I'm working on how I word some of my posts and our ads, guys, because I provide virtual training. I don't do in-person training. I have some, like a very small handful of clients that live near me or somewhat near me that I'll do in-person training with. And even if I had a stranger that lived near me, I probably wouldn't want to train them in person. I usually like to know someone either from the gym or someone I know, like, just how I like to roll. Because I don't really work with a lot of clients anymore. I have like a handful of clients. Like right now, from now until October, I'm working with 25 clients on our high ticket program. That's it. And every quarter, I'm going to be taking on like 25 clients. That's it. And 3 of them are going to be like virtual, like one-on-one sessions, or in person if they live nearby. But one of like a lot I've noticed on the ads and stuff I run, they're like, hey, where are you located? I'm like, oh, it's a virtual program. Like, and they seem like a little disinterested. I'm wondering, how do you guys feel about virtual programs? And then, Ash, I'm originally from New York, but I'm in North Carolina now. But my going back to the question is, I'm curious, how do you guys feel about, like, if I say it's a remote training program or a virtual training program, what does that come to mind for you? Like, does that mean like virtual, like online? Because I feel like sometimes people are confused by the ads or posts that I'm doing, or maybe they're just like, they just want, this is another thing I think it's interesting. People will be like in the moment message something, not really think about it. Be like, and then they just look for an excuse not to really, not as effective. Oh, okay. So from your eyes, it seems like virtual is just not as effective. Now, I would argue that. I'll be super transparent with you. I would say 25 of the 3,000 clients, so 25,000 out of the 30,000 that my team and I have worked with have been online and virtual, and we've delivered results for them where they've lost at least 10 pounds of fat, and be able to do it in a sustainable way. So like, I think it's as effective as what fits into your life. And maybe it's just a lot of people like, oh, and this is what I've heard, I want someone to be there to meet me at the gym to make me feel like I got to be accountable. What's the difference between that and like meeting me like on a phone or a call? Like I still blocked out that time in my calendar. Is it, hey, you want someone to, because I've had people say, oh, I want someone to like technically cue me. And listen, I'm going to be transparent. There's no replacing someone being there physically in the room, holding you accountable from a technique standpoint to physically cue you. But a really well-skilled coach like myself, in my opinion, or the team that we create, and even using good cameras like this motion tracking camera or having the right angle, I can see if you're going to have improper technique, and I've developed cues to work through that. But I appreciate that feedback, Ash. I think that's an important piece. Like people might perceive it as not being as effective as an option, or just maybe something that's not going to deliver the results they want. Or some people maybe just wanting to work out with someone in person. I do get that. And then showing the effort in person is more dedication. Do you mean from like the person working out perspective, or from the trainer, or from both? Because I'll be honest, and this is where I'm like, I have my own maybe mindset. So like, I'm going to try and not make you like both. Okay. And dude, I just super appreciate you just answering these questions. So I don't want to come at you with like too much smoke and heat and be like, oh, you're wrong. Like, but I appreciate the perspective. Why would you do online only? What's the point? Ooh, that's a good question. So from a from a trainer or a coach perspective, to me, the benefit of virtual is like I can work with anyone in the world. Like I have clients in Thailand right now, Germany, Europe, Canada, South America, here in the States, on the West Coast, East Coast. Like I have clients throughout the entire world. And that's obviously something I couldn't do if it was in person. Also, to me, from again, the coach and business perspective of it is you can work with more people around the world, support more people, but you can also be more flexible, because let's say I have a client at 12 o'clock noon, because it's like 10 to noon right now. Let's say I have a client at 10 noon. If it's like at the gym, I'd have to then factor in for commute time. Then if it's like, okay, I have a client at 12, then I have a client at 2, then I have a client at 4. Let's just say those are the times, because that's like pretty what happens in like a trainer space. Usually don't have like back to back to back. Usually have like from 2 to 4 I have clients, because that's like a window of time, and this time. So it's sprinkled throughout the day. If you have to be at the gym for it, you have to spend your entire day at the gym or commuting back and forth. But if it's virtual, you can do it pretty much anywhere. And that's why I like having my home gym and the virtual gym setup that I have, because I can work with someone. And to me, it's just that much more flexible and accommodating. So if let's say you have 30 minutes and you're at the office, I could train with you at the office with no equipment and give you an amazing workout session, which I totally do right now with certain clients. Versus if it's like, hey, I have to be at the gym, you got to meet me here, you may not be able to make that happen. But I think that, and that's a good question, like what's the point? And that's, I think, the fact that I'm assuming everyone thinks like that, but they don't. And I've been doing virtual training now since 2015. So I've been doing it for almost, 10 years, like 8 years, which is way longer than people have had to because of COVID. I think most people think I'm doing it because of COVID. I've been doing it way before COVID. I did it because as a professional fighter and athlete, I was moving and my clients were moving so much that I needed to offer a virtual coaching program to be able to support them when I wasn't around. And I actually really worked out a lot of the variables that are effective or not. So anyways, I'm going to stop ranting here. We're going to play a little more B-roll, but I appreciate you hanging in there with me with the questions and just bouncing ideas off me. And and if you guys got questions for me, like let me know, Ash, or anyone else in the chat. Like I love talking about this stuff, especially since it's Sunday and I just forgot I didn't have my keyboard on, which is why I didn't type it in the first place. So let me get my cable and we'll play the next B-roll.
So in this video, we're going over the reusable and disposable face tissues. This is by ITO. Comes in a pack of 80 sheets per roll. And the cool thing is, again, I'm going to peel one off right here really quick so you can see. It's got dual-sided. So one side has nice texture. The other side is going to be nice and smooth. So depending on what you want to use it for, my wife likes using it for her makeup removal. Then she can rinse it off, reuse it. I personally like using it here in the gym when I'm working out. I get super sweaty. Instead of grabbing a towel, boom, I can just dry myself off. And then again, if you want to, you can rinse it off and reuse it up to 2 to 3 times. Now, my 2 cents on that is I wouldn't reuse it for things like in the gym. I use it once and I get rid of it. But for like facial removal, makeup removal, for maybe if you have a spill, like sometimes I'll spill my seltzer or my water here, I would definitely just reuse it 2 or 3 times for that purpose. But again, use that at your discretion, but definitely a really cool option to have for reusable purposes. And again, having the dual side textural for, again, maybe some exfoliation or makeup remover, and then the smooth side as well. Thumbs up, y'all. Even for my kids, using it for them, for cleanup when you need it, it's definitely a thumbs up and comes in clutch.
No, y'all, where's my cable to charge my keyboard? No! I know I've got it here somewhere, y'all. We're going to find it. We are going to find it. I can't just let it go. I mean, I guess I could. All right, so I'm going to come back, and then we're going to go back and forth. So as we get into the end of the stream, I got to find the charger for the... and then, ew, why would you reuse it on sweat? That's a good question, Ash. So, like, I mean, here's the thing. Think about like a towel. If you use a towel, right, and you're like working out, you're wiping stuff down, people do that. So I think, you know, people might be like, oh, I'll reuse. I keep the reusable towel during a workout. I'll keep it in my pocket. And then once the workout's over and I've wiped myself off, I throw it out. But some people might, I don't know. I'm just trying to cover my bases. Like, hey, guys, don't do that, though. It's not going to be the most sanitary, to be honest. All right, let's get into the phone holder. So here, Ash, here's my question for you, dude. Like, what's your favorite kind of training and workouts to do? Or any kind, it didn't even have to be traditional stuff. Like, how do you like to get active? Do you like to dance? Do you like to walk? Do you like to swim? Do you like to play sports? Do you like to, I don't know, whatever. Like, what's some ways you like to get active? I'm just being nosy here, don't mind me. Let's see if I can find by when I uploaded these. This should work. Because now I don't have my keyboard, so I'm literally just gonna like scroll through from the dates. Maybe I should do like names. Yeah, let me do names. This will be much better. It's either under P or A. It's under P. I'm a genius.
In this video, we're gonna be looking at the Lamicall phone stand. Now, this one is clutch on the engineering design side because it not only has a little area that you could put your cables and your wiring through to plug it in to keep it charging if you're still using while charging. But the other thing I like about this is, check this out. It actually can move, so you can adjust the angle, so that this is one I definitely am using now more so during my live streams. So when I'm actually having my phone rest on it, I can play with the angle, especially if I stand up, move, have the adjustability, and then be able to charge it, plug it in, have all the wires and whatnot coming back through here. So definitely a thumbs up. Super functional and highly recommend.
Shabam, y'all. Again, to me, things fall in the either function or the fun category. And then, should I go hiking today? Ooh, I mean, how's the weather looking? I'm always a fan of hiking. So if you're asking me, I always say yes. Unless it's like extremely hot to the point where you're going to risk your health, or it's like raining or something. And also, please don't go hiking by yourself too much. Not just you, but anybody. Like, I've unfortunately, it's not like a friend of mine, but it's like a family friend's family friend. They had a 16-year-old daughter, and their daughter, when they were in Las Vegas, they went hiking, and she was the diabetic, didn't bring her medication, her insulin. She was type 1, I believe, if I'm getting this right. And unfortunately went out hiking by herself in the desert, didn't bring water with her. I think she got like dehydrated or lost or something. And unfortunately, I think went into or didn't have her insulin as well. Blood sugar dropped. And then unfortunately, I think passed out and actually like died in the desert because she was by herself and didn't have anyone with her. And like, yeah, man, I'm not trying to be morbid, but I just, please do things in a manner where you're not risking your health and your wellness in that sense. And then, ooh, so nice. 80 and sunny, no clouds. Bring your dog. Yeah, dude, I would totally say do that then. If it's not kind of nice weather and you can bring your dog and you're not going to be alone, do it up. And now this is where I feel like I'm a hypocrite, right? And this is maybe like my own chauvinistic mindset or whatever you want to call it. I'm curious what you guys think. I'm like, yeah, that's all great, but I would totally go hiking by myself. Like, I've gone hiking by myself all the time. And maybe that's not even just for men or for women, but for everybody. Like, unless you have a certain amount of experience, like I have a buddy of mine who is in the Marines. Like, maybe I would feel differently about him going hiking by himself versus like someone that was like, I was a Boy Scout, and this was like 20 years ago. But even that basic training has come in handy in my life. Not that I remember any of it, but Well, who would mess with a 200-pound man? And to me, it's not a bear, maybe. And it's not even about like someone messing with you, and that's definitely a variable. But it's also like, what if you get lost, or it's dehydrated, or inclement weather, or something you didn't plan for? And then Sunflower, thank you for the follow. Are you streaming on 2 different accounts? I saw another live exactly the same. So yeah, Bennett. So I've got this stream right now on my Coach Mike channel. I'm talking about different products, like we have the phone stand. I'm actually going to highlight the glasses. And then on my Lifestyle of Fitness channel, I have like the exercise ball and the massage highlighted. So I have different products I'm featuring, but it's the same stream, just with different products. So everything you see is like from the sauna to the home gym workout to the, back to the school stuff. Like all this stuff is a part of the stream, just on 2 different channels and kind of different themes. Oh my God, look at that dad belly. Dang, wow, you're really just gonna call my dad belly like that? And then, well, who would mess with a 200-pound? Are you self-conscious of it? I mean, of course, dude. I just told you, like, I'm super insecure about my body. But it's all good. I'm learning to also like love, like, from my stomach to my body to whatever it is, man. Now that doesn't mean I'm complacent, and obviously, like, even I'll be transparent with you guys. Look, we got some fat to lose here. Make sure that shirt don't rise. You make sure that shirt don't rise. What? But even that, like, like I can even like frame it in good lighting and look like I have abs. Like, that's great. But it's the unflattering angles that I always find interesting. And like, even when you're 10% body fat, you can look great, but it's not going to be the most flattering per se. I also got my Bluetooth mic on. I want to make sure that doesn't rise up. And then Bennett, talk to me about any questions or anything you got going too. I don't think you fool me, Poppy. Don't think you can fool me, Poppy. So you're saying you're into the dad belly? You're into that dad bod life? I don't know, man. Why are girls into dad bods? I don't understand that. I feel like, and maybe I'm like making a giant assumption or category, but also let's pause really quick here, Ash. Does it really look like I have a dad belly right now? Like, be honest with me. Does it look like a pot belly? Like, obviously it's not like a full-on six-pack, but like, how does it look? Even from this angle, do I look bad? You can be honest with me. I trust you to be real with me. Be straight up. This is the other point too, is like, this is where I'm seeking external validation, but also there's another part of my brain where I'm like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares? You know what you, and like, also I know I got a little bit of extra fat here. I know I have some areas on my body I want to work on. It's like, I know what it feels like. I don't need someone else to tell me. Yeah, it looks like a dad body. Yeah, so like, exactly. Like, so I was saying, yeah, that definitely got that dad bod life and being able to, now here's my other question, Ash. I'm trying to think of the way to word this. Like, if you were to look, maybe this is a better way to word it. Like, if you're looking at me, even though I have a dad bod since I have kids or whatever, and that, I don't think that's like a justification of it. Would you look at me and be like, oh, that guy's like a health professional, or he's interested? Because this is the other thing too, what I think is interesting when I go to health conferences and stuff, is like, I'm not used to being at like the out of shape person in the room. When I go to these conferences where people are like charging crazy amounts of money, making big money, and like really doubling down, they're like, single-digit body fat percentage. Like, I'm like, oh man, I'm pretty chubby here. This is not good. Looks bigger when you lay down than standing up. Yeah, I mean, of course. That's always going to be the case. But my point is, like, as a health coach, as a trainer, like, I also always want to make sure that I'm living my best and healthiest life. Just not even from a visual, but like internally, like my gut, my blood work, my blood pressure, all those things. I actually went to go get blood work on Friday, and I think I didn't actually have the doctor write in the order. So I'm like, oh man, I hit up my doctor the other day. Like, hey, can you actually send in the order? I realized I didn't ask for that part, just to see where my testosterone levels are. Because dude, my testosterone's been in the dumps the last like 4-6 months. I have like 170 total testosterone, which is like the testosterone of like a 70-year-old man. So that's why, even like with all the things I'm working on, is like trying to balance out my training protocols, my nutrition, sleep, my hormone levels. Like, am I going to start to go on hormone replacement therapy? I'm still kind of young. Like, what does all that look like? Do I need that? Oh my God, you're turning old, right? Like, dude, I'm 34, about to be 35. But it's like a combination of like, I'm constantly working on my sleep routine, not consuming too much not consuming THC to a point where it negatively affects my body, not eating crappy at night, like doing all these other components of it and balancing all these things, growing the business. And I say all this to be transparent with you guys. Like, listen, I'm not perfect, but here's the cool thing. I'm a product of our program Because guess what? I would be like 230 pounds of just like stress and fat if I didn't implement the program that we use and look like the muscle even that I have on my frame and those kinds of things. So I wonder, long-windedly, what I'm asking, it's your diet and stress. It's more so, it's not even like just diet and stress, it's partially that. Because most of the part, it's not even like, I don't think of it as a diet. It's like nutritionally, I'm pretty good. It's being able to have consistency in my sleep. Because what happens with sleep, and this is something I've talked about before, so you guys will be familiar with it, is when you don't have adequate sleep, your body releases more of something called ghrelin, which is produced in our gut, which is our hunger cue. It makes us hungry. Even if we don't necessarily need the calories, it cues us to eat more because we don't have the same energy from sleep. So our body's going to make it up with food or other sources, maybe even having coffee or caffeine, things like that. And when I do that, like I notice, like I get good sleep. I'm like, okay, I have that. And then if I don't get enough sleep and I start like smoking or eating edibles or having any kind of THC or any of that kind of stuff, like the calorie intake goes up, my sleep quality shifts. So it's like, but here's the thing. I'm like, well, I know it's bad. This is the thing I struggle with, is putting it all together consistently all the time. That's like the most challenging part. But so here's my question though, Ash. Maybe you should stop smoking. Hey, listen, you talk to my wife about this? Like, you and my wife, something. Yeah, and that's like, dude, so what I'm going through actually right now is I'm doing a documented like strategy. Like, so when I did my blood work with my doctor, he's like, hey man, like definitely don't consume as much THC. It's impacting your hormones and all these other things and can help your estrogen levels. First off, I appreciate what you're trying to say there. Like, hey, if you mind, like, you wouldn't be smoking. And like, I know you mean that hopefully in a positive way, but it's like, no one person can control what another person does. Like, that's what I always think is incredible, is like, oh, if that were my man or that were my wife, like first off, you can't control what anyone's going to do. You can pretend like you have control, but you know you don't really have control. That's like an important point. You won't get any, you can try and do that, but then guess what? We're not going to be together very long if you're going to do those kinds of things. Anyways, my point of all this is, this foot massage feels good, is being able to, like, to me, I have to go, why am I doing that? What am I avoiding? Because for me, usually if I'm doing that, I'm avoiding something from being in the present. Like, what about the present do I not want to experience? Or I've also noticed it's become a psychological habit of like before I work out or after I work out or when I'm doing creative things for work and I don't have the kids, that's like my window. Is that the only part that works normal? What's the only part that works normal? The foam roller? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. I'm going to go into, I realize I still got a couple more videos to play for B-roll, so we're going to get into, I got the Zealous balance ball, which we're going to set up for next week. I still am waiting on the gloves. Ooh, we got the Gobi outdoor lights. I'm going to play these puppies. Never mind, I won't get there. I don't get it. Yeah, that might just be me missing and being delayed on it. But Ash, I appreciate the transparency, saying I have a dad bod and that it looks like I have a dad belly. Maybe when I'm actually working out, it'll look different. But now here I'm curious, like, if you look at me for like, do I look like a healthy person? Like, do I look like a health and fitness professional? I'm curious because here's the thing. I make assumptions about myself and I have people around me. I wonder, what do you see when you see me? Because this is after actually like losing weight, and like I've lost like 10 pounds since January, and like keeping that fat off and increasing my body. Maybe it's the shirt, it's baggy. Nah, dude, I think maybe it was also like position when I lay. Like I was about to take my shirt off just so you could see a difference. I'm like, maybe that's not the move on Amazon, or maybe you're trying to trick me. Maybe that's your intention the whole time. Are you just trying to trick me and get me to take my shirt off? Stand up. All right, so how about this? I'm gonna play the B-roll. I'm gonna let the leg massager play, and then I'll stand up, and then you can tell me. I keep trying to type it in. I keep forgetting that I don't have the keyboard charged. So let's see, I gotta do the string lights. I already saw you shirtless. What, you did? So then there you go. So you can use that as a reference point. Unless it's like my profile picture, that one's from like fighting. So that one might be a little bit more dated. And not these, we don't want those. We want, let's see, string lights.
In this video, we're going to be talking about the Gobi LED string lights. As you can see, I have them set up here with the lights on. We're going to dig into what it actually looks like on the app and how to get it set up. But before we dig into the app, I want to show you another really cool feature, which is actually the hooks that come built on each one of the light bulbs. So you can easily hook it onto if you already have a frame or a setup like that. Super easy to pop on and pop off as well. So now let's look at getting it set up on the app. And for this, you go right into the store. You're going to look up Govee Home, and then you're going to be able to match it up to whichever product that you have. Now, the cool thing is, again, once you select the actual light bulb, you'll see if the right one pops up. Right there, you see I didn't. And then right there, now that I did, you'll see the brand and the name come up. Boom, it's going to connect. And then once you have it set up, you can even rename it if you want, set up all that fun stuff, and then have complete control from your app, which is my probably favorite feature to these light bulbs. And so many cool settings and details in between.
It's cool, right, Ash? And then, yeah, I got those on my deck. And yeah, you saw an IG. So IG might have been, actually, no, the IG one, that was from like 2-3 weeks ago. So yeah, you saw the relevant one. So yeah, you know what I look like. But maybe from this angle, it'll look different. I'll stand up. Let's take, boom. Take that. That was good. We got a nice little recovery day in. Got some feedback that honestly is not the best to hear. I don't love hearing that. I'm like, I don't look awesome, but I appreciate the transparency. And it's honestly just more inspiration for me to not go eat a bunch of like chocolate peanut butter cups. That's like, dude, that's my thing, man. I'll be super transparent with you guys. What I like to do, this is my biggest weakness, whether I'm training or not, whatever's going on. Well, let's bring this up. I was raised like Italian and German, like I was saying. So like food's my culture. I like to celebrate with food. So I'm still working on my relationship with food. But like, look, here. Come on now. Still healthy and in shape. But I know you didn't fix the lighting. But how do I know you didn't fix the lighting? What do you mean? How did I not fix the lighting? Lighting looks good, doesn't it? And then Bennett, I don't think you're still here on it, but hopefully that was helpful. I just realized I didn't type it and the message didn't send when I sent it before. All right. We're going into the last couple of products here, y'all. Ooh, we got the Geek Chef air fryer toaster. This thing's my jam, y'all. It's darker. I think it might have just been like where I was standing because I have some like stuff blocking out like natural sunlight. But you tell me though, homie. All right, so now we're gonna get the Geek Chef. Trainers in my gym are way buffer. Ooh, so yeah, so they might be bigger too. And that's where I think going into in person can be beneficial when you look good, because it's like a good selling point. Like, oh, you look like in the shape. And that's what's interesting about the influencer world and the virtual world is like you could see somebody like, oh, wow, they have a six-pack ab, like, but they may not have at all clue how to get you to the results you want because everyone's different there. So that's something to be mindful of. But I appreciate the feedback, homie. I'm going to have to get, honestly, I don't want to get like any bigger. If anything, I'm going to lose like 15 to 20 pounds. I'm going to put on like another 3 pounds of muscle and take off another like 15 pounds of fat. So I'm going to go through another 12-week cycle, probably starting in September, and get even more lean and shred. But dang, Ash, I got to be honest, man. I appreciate your brutal honesty because it's like, doesn't feel great, but I appreciate and I respect the transparency. Yeah, you have the mindset and the brain versus body. Nothing wrong with that. Dang, bro, this is kind of brutal. I got to be honest with you. You're like, dude, this does not feel so great. But I appreciate the transparency. Yeah, it's good to have mindset and brain, but I'd say I got like a body too. Just maybe like, again, I'm 18% body fat, not 10%. But I'm just saying, and I appreciate the transparency, dude. Like, don't hold back. Like, I think it's important to hear the real talk.
So just to dig in here a little bit more and to highlight, I wanted to have two different B-rolls playing. Right up here is the chicken wings. Right over here are the dehydrated mangoes. What I actually did, because I wanted to show you guys, like, I think sometimes when we think about, like, you know, changing up your nutrition habits and whatnot, it's like, oh, I have to have everything from scratch. It has to be perfect. Like, I'll be honest with you, no. Sometimes I don't have the time to make fresh chicken wings, like with my own sauce and whatnot. So I bought these from the store, straight up from the freezer. They already had the buffalo ranch sauce on. I threw them right into the air fryer toaster, threw the settings on, be able to throw it on air fryer. I put it on 20 minutes, I believe, and 10 minutes about halfway through. I just flip them, got them nice and crispy, and they were amazing. So I wanted to share that with you guys specifically for this one. So you guys can understand, like, again, even as a health professional, this is what I do for a living. Ideally, it's great to have organic and fresh and make your own sauce and do all that stuff, totally. But sometimes, based on time and bandwidth and what you have going on, this might be the best option. It's about making the best choice and the best option you have at that time. And being able to have the Geek Chef air fryer toaster can help leverage that a little bit more, have it a little bit more convenient. You don't have to worry about like preheating it and stuff like that, which to me was pretty awesome, because that's one of my hesitations when it comes to using the oven, which I still use at times. It's just like, I don't want to have to preheat it and wait. It adds more time onto it. So literally dial it to 20 minutes, throw them in, flip them halfway through, and you're good to go. And even that, you technically don't have to. I just like to. Now let's slide over to the mangoes here for a second. Looking at these, this is again another one. I'm a huge fan of dehydrated mangoes, but from a cost perspective and also from like a kind of portion sizing perspective, I can spend a lot of money and I can also eat way too much of them. So what I decided to do was, again, get the frozen ones and just throw them in. Now, what you'll notice in this one, they got a little crispy because I put them in for 3 hours straight. What I would recommend after doing it since then is being able to do them from a half hour at a time, let them sit for 10 minutes, flip them, do it for another half hour, then let them rest for like 10 minutes and then see where they're at. And then maybe an hour and a half in usually is gonna be good. I did it for 2 hours this last time and it came out, again, great, not as crispy on the edges. These were frozen from chunks. What I also did is I got some fresh mangoes now, and I'm gonna slice them up longer and thinner, and I'll shoot some B-roll for that as well if you guys wanna see that, and dig into some of the differences when you lay them down and what it can look like. But I wanted to share that with you guys because I'm a really big fan of leveraging the air fryer and toaster, not adding the calories from oils, and being able to have the versatility it can provide with so many different things.
And bam, y'all. So we got, I believe we got 2 more we're going to dig into. Also, let's check, see if we got an inlane coupon. And then I appreciate that, Ash. But now it's not about, and this is where I think maybe it hurts me, is like, it sounds like you're like, hey, well, you're still attractive, so that's okay. That's great and all, but I'm not trying to just be attractive. I'm trying to like embody fitness, like truthfully, like embody health and wellness. And like when I look at myself, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm a healthy dude. But it sounds like, and this is great feedback for me, what you're saying is like, yeah, you look all right, like you're healthy, but like there's way, you know, way more buffer, like you specifically said, like buffer trainers in your gym. So like then I'm wondering, like, how does that equate? Like, how much are you gonna trust me if you see me? Like I think, like, again, looking at me, like I'm in a healthy, good shape. You look at all my parameters, like resting heart rate, all that fun stuff. Like I'm wondering, if you were to just look at me, would you trust me to be able to give you coaching just from where my body composition is? Which isn't, it shouldn't necessarily be that case, but because this, I think I obviously want to be able to show up in a way that's like, you truly trust me, even without me saying a word to you. I want you to be able to trust me looking at me like, oh, this dude obviously knows what he's talking about. So I appreciate that feedback, because it sounds like right now I'm not showing up that way. And that can be great feedback for me in the things that I can work on to continuously optimize my health, and be just like, hey, when I want to have those extra Reese's, like, dude, last night I have a bunch of Reese's. I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. I'm feeling it in my gut this morning. I'm gonna think about that kind of stuff now. Now, I told you that you know what you're saying and doing. No, I told you that you know what you're saying and doing. Now I'm kind of confused though. Like, I think you're saying that, hold on. Right, yeah, you told me that like trainers in the gym and stuff look buffer. So I think that, and maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. Maybe you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Either way, I think it's great feedback though. I appreciate it. It's my point. That's the point of it. It's gonna give me some nice little like short-term motivation, but long-term, it's always got to come from within here, within here. Anyways, let's get into the last little bit. We're coming into the home stretch here, y'all. Ash, we're getting into the home stretch. I appreciate you. You've been hanging out with me pretty much the whole stream here. Muscles are just show. It doesn't matter if you're a trainer. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like as a health professional, like I own a health and fitness company, right? Like I own a company that delivers coaching and programs and content that are around health and wellness. And on paper, like I meet all those things, like not even my academic and stuff, but if you look at my blood work, resting heart rate, like my physical parameters, what I can do, sure. But I want to, like, when you look at me, not you, but when anyone looks at me, because I'm kind of biased at this point, when I look at myself, like I have this dysmorphia in my mind, like I'm always going to be fat. Like just like what I see, I'm like, oh, like, and then I try and like coach myself and I'm healthy, which I am, but it's like there's always going to be a warped perspective of myself and always seeing the fat components. I know it's just like having a fat doctor and he's telling you to lose weight. Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to be that dude. That's the whole point. That's what I'm getting at here, Ashley, is I'm not trying to be that fat doctor that's like, hey, you got to go be healthy, but like I'm not living that life. So, and as you guys can see, like I train and we do all that, but to your point, I'm going to be very transparent and hold myself accountable with you guys. Is I'm going through, and this is the point of me saying all this, I go through cycles where I don't smoke for a week, I'll smoke for a week. Now I'm going through 2 weeks of just been like smoking, consuming THC for 2 weeks. Now I'm going to go through 2 weeks with nothing. So we're going to journal, we're going to take notes, and then let's see how my body composition changes. Let's see if you guys notice anything too. I didn't say that you look that fat. Jeez, no, but this is the other point too. Like, you have to understand, like, I was fat my whole childhood in like adolescence. So if someone says something, like, there's a default mechanism where like there's a judge in my brain that kicks in and be like, see, they see you're fat, you suck. Like, which is not what you're saying. That's not obviously what's going on, but like, that's where my mind takes it. So I'm just gonna be transparent with you guys. And that's why I love this conversation, because I think it's important that we don't always get to talk about these kind of variables. Everyone's always trying to like, fake it till you make it, or like just talk about the good stuff. But like, I want to hear every aspect of everything, all the feedback you guys have, good, bad, and different, whatever that looks like. All right, so let's talk about the last thing we've got. I've got my Fidas half-gallon water bottle. Oh yeah. Getting my seltzer hydration on. Cheers. So this one holds 64 ounces. So you can see on the back end, it'll go ounces and milliliters. And it'll also, on the opposite side, it'll have the time of the day. So go from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I have like nice kind of like encouraging messages, which I don't care as much about the messages. I honestly don't even care as much about the time for myself. What I care more about is knowing how much water. But for my clients and most people, especially when you're starting and building the habit, I like having the number or the time of day and like an inspiring message and be like, hey, it's 11 a.m. So you can compare. At 11 a.m. I should be here. If I'm not, I got to play catch up. Or remember your goal. Having these like cool little affirmations and things like that. I just think that's cool. So yeah, y'all, that is pretty much it. Again, we got a 15% off promo code in addition to the 20% discount you guys got right now. So you get an extra total of 35% off pretty much. So I appreciate you guys. Again, that's pretty much going to bring it to the end of the stream here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, getting the mobility on. Ash, I appreciate you hanging and holding it down the whole time. Ash, I don't know, did you get in on the giveaway, by the way? We have a $1,000 giveaway. We're going to do $1,000 cash October 1st. So if you're not in on that, again, I have it right here in the scrolling banner. See how it says our link tree right here, linktree/lifestyle_of_fitness. Get in on that, dude. I'll type it in the comments too. Or you can go to life. Here's the thing, lifestyleoffitness.com. We'll have it on our social media, but it's a little bit more of a indirect way. I can't even. I think I can copy and paste it with my mouse. Hold on, I got you, Ash. I'll throw this up on all the platforms. So use that link and go enter, dude. It doesn't cost you anything. And all you have to do is just make sure you're following, which it looks like you're already following, obviously on Twitch, as well as, so that's our link tree. Go to the link tree. I'll actually screen share with you guys right now. Boom, I'm gonna show you what this looks like. I keep forgetting though that I don't have my keyboard, so I'm gonna probably keep trying to type. So here you go. You type in our link tree right here. You can also apply to work with us right here. It'll take you to the application page. But boom, $1,000 giveaway. All you're going to do, it's myself, Anna, and Gina. We're sponsoring this. We're doing a $1,000 gift card. Put in your name, your email. You'll enter, and it'll give you the rules on how you got to enter, all that fun stuff. It'll even show you the stream. We're going to be celebrating where we do the giveaway. It's free money. Exactly. It's free money, dude. Now we're picking one winner for the $1,000. Only one person's going to win. So I think we've got like 400 entries or 500 entries. But dude, it's free money. Go over to the link, type in your email and your name. Make sure you're just, it says like, hey, make sure you're following on Amazon or following on Instagram, or whatever I forget exactly the way Gina set it up. Let's see. Let's view the rules. Must be following both pages on Amazon, must be 18 years or older. Giveaway is not directly associated with them. So yeah, basically you just got to follow us on Amazon, be at least 18, and you're good to go. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free money. So that's my little spiel. That was my last thing I wanted to throw at you guys. Again, you can check out the website. I just realized, I keep forgetting I don't have my keyboard plugged in. So I wanted to update my link tree for the application page. And yeah, let's see if we got an link. I doubt there's, because there's got so many discounts. You should let me win. So here's the thing, dude. I have no control over who wins. It's literally like we just push a button and it selectively just like picks out one person's name. Now here's the cool thing though. It gives you points for every action that you do. So if you like, let's say, invite a friend, it'll give you 10. I'm making this, I don't know if it's 10 points. It'll send you 10 points. And then if you follow on one of our other social media accounts, you don't have to, like Instagram or Twitter, it'll give you bonus points, whatever that is. And then whoever has the most points doesn't win, but it gets a higher percentage of chance of winning because it's randomly selected. So whoever has the most points tends to have a higher chance of winning. But even if you have 1 point, you still have a chance of winning compared to someone who has 100 points. It's just if you invite people and stuff, you'll get more points. You do it however you want to do it, but it's free money at the end of the day. If you don't want to do that, I get it. You don't have to. I'm just throwing it out there. I thought you might find that valuable. And dude, if you have requests for workouts, like again, if you want to work out with me, like every single week, I'm going to be live streaming the workouts. I'm going to have actually 2 of my buddies and close friends as well as clients joining me. One's a former Olympian and an X Games gold medalist. One is an absolute amazing. It's actually his partner, not just business partner, but his life's partner. I don't think they're married. I have to double check. I feel like they're not married, but like might as well be. They've been together like 10 years. They have a business together. They have kids together. Absolutely awesome. So hopefully Ryan and Luke, you're going to be seeing them joining us in the next week on our live stream. So if you guys want to join in on that, the workouts, having fun. I'm also going to do a sponsored workout tomorrow. So Ash, come back tomorrow. Join me for the sponsored workout. Let me know how I look maybe when I get a blood pump and if I'm still looking kind of soft and fat and dad bod life, or if we're getting more into the fitness realm. And now I'm just kind of busting your chops just because I'm messing around. But that is pretty much going to do it, y'all. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, especially on a Sunday. I'm going to go take care of like cleaning up the garage. I got a bunch of stuff to take care of the backyard. I just got errands and stuff to do all day today. But I wanted to just hang out with you guys. I'm going to hang out with my kids. We got date night tonight with my wife. So got all the goodness, y'all. With that being said, cheers, everybody. Cheers, Ash. Cheers, Bennett. Josh. Sunflower, thanks for the follow. Cheers to all you guys. I appreciate you guys.